Students at the University of Michigan are saying the school's isolation policy for those who test positive for COVID is confusing. They are being asked to leave their dorms if they're sick. Meredith Bruckner has more from the North Quad on U of M's campus in Ann Arbor.
Students at the University of Michigan here in Ann Arbor say they're confused by a policy that was sent out recently that states if you live in a residence hall on campus and you test positive for COVID, you need to leave. They're wondering, where do they go?
I got a cold, so I thought it was COVID at first, and so I ended up looking it up. I think that you're supposed to quarantine, but looking it up, it kind of was very unclear. And when I went to UHS, even the woman there that did my COVID test, she was like, I don't know.
According to the university's policy, students living in Michigan housing residence halls must leave during their 5-day isolation period. UM suggests getting a hotel room, staying with friends or family, or going back to a permanent residence for students who live nearby.
I personally wouldn't be willing to do that because I am not in a position where I'm able to reasonably pay for a hotel room for 5-6 days.
I'd expect the University of Michigan to help accommodate students with COVID-19, especially because they have so many international students.
As a transfer student that doesn't live here, I found that crazy because sometimes we don't have the money to go another place. Sometimes we don't even have a family to go to.
That's kind of insane, especially if you're a freshman who is not around here or doesn't have the same resources as other students.
The school says its isolation housing is currently extremely limited. Last year, the university was using 500 beds in its Northwood 3 buildings on North Campus to house students who tested positive. Those buildings have since been torn down to build new residence halls. Professor of Medical Policy at Stanford, Jay Bhattacharya, slamming the policy on X, formerly known as Twitter, calling it cruel.
This University of Michigan policy makes no sense. Asking students to go off campus, arrange for their own hotel room or find some relative nearby, what do they do if they don't have a relative nearby? And from an epidemiological point of view, if you're going to expose people to this virus, there's this big age gradient with really older people that are the highest risk. Why would you tell someone who's a student who's positive to go out into the community at large where there's going to be older people rather than having them housed on campus where they're more likely to be exposed to younger people?
He also says students may not report positive cases if they need to leave their dorms.
If they just don't test at all, they just stay sick silently, then they're fine. Then they can stay on campus. A lot of students are going to decide, I don't want to test. I don't want to go to the university clinic. It doesn't make any sense from a health policy point of view, from just how you treat student point of view, and from an epidemiological point of view. I think it's just I think it really is a cruel policy.
For its part, university officials shared in a statement with CBS News that representatives from its Department of Environment, Health, and Safety follow up with each student who reports a positive test to thoroughly explore safe isolation options. Reporting in Ann Arbor, Meredith Bruckner, CBS News Detroit.